Hey people, it's been a long time since I've been here. Hope you guys can hear me. Hey Caesar, what's up? I don't know how long this is going to be able to last because I don't have battery power and I can't plug in right here at this location. I don't have too much time. I just wanted to get out there and say I've been away for a while and it's been a lot of family issues that I've been dealing with. Some of you guys already know that I lost my father a few weeks ago. He had a illness over the last... All right, Caesar, I'll talk to you later. Cool. About Christmas time last year in 2019, right before COVID, my father, we discovered that he's got Alzheimer's, and it progressed really fast to the point where up until he died, he was really out of it. Sometimes, depending on the medication, he would be there, and if you guys have had Alzheimer's in your family, you know, most of the time he was not. And he had other health issues too. So it was really the other health issues that he had to deal with. He had a heart issue where about 6.5 years ago, the doctors had given him 2 to 5 years to live. And he lasted 6.5. Ultimately, it was the heart that got him, which probably is better because of the Alzheimer's. He could have been living with this Alzheimer's for several more years at least. And, that is awful. For all you people that have gone through it, it's awful to watch a loved one like that fall apart with Alzheimer's. That's 2 people in my dad's family now that have had Alzheimer's. So I am probably going to have it. Sometimes, you know, at my age now, I have memory losses, and I'm wondering if I'm really going to get it. Geez, I hope not. Yeah, it's a bad thing. So I had to... I didn't spend that much time with my dad, but having to deal with his stuff, and I'm the executor of his estate, so I'm having to deal with that right now with my sisters. So I've been kind of staying away, sometimes just not feeling like it. I haven't even really been working on the houses like I should be, and now is the time to sell. So I really want to get at least one of them done and out of here. I actually went shopping for an RV, so I'm back looking in the market, kind of just looking at the market for an RV. Problem is there's no inventory. Of the coach that I want, there's no inventory. And so, I mean, I went to the lot that I like, the particular company that I like. They literally had 5 coaches on the lot, and normally they have about 100. Thank you all for talking about my loss, but I'm back. We'll see how much I can start doing from this point on. I've been away for probably 5 months, it seems like. Maybe even not 6 months, but I think, yeah, definitely 5 months I've been away from here. I just had lunch today with Nick from Your Wet Sock. Some of you people know who he is. He's a wonderful guy. He's not totally like his persona on his YouTube channel, which is kind of good, but he's a great guy. You know, a really good friend. And he's quite a bit younger, so it's kind of weird because he could be like my son, but maybe we'll be doing some stuff in the future. Lana, some of you guys asking, like, where's Lana? Lana is working like crazy, not liking her job right now, I think, but she's trying to get vacation. We're planning a trip in July, and right now, because she's got a new boss, it's tough for her to get that time off. So don't know how it's going to be. We're thinking maybe we'll go to Cancun is what we're looking at right now. Although I don't know about going to Cancun in July. What's it like in Cancun in July? I've never been to Mexico in the summer. What kind of job do I do? What programming did I do? Hi Kendra. Amira, how you doing? I've never actually talked to you in person, but I know Nick has. It's funny because when I first came to Vegas, I did exactly what Colt does, or what Colt did for work. I created slot machine software. I created systems for casinos. And that was a lot of hours. I worked a lot of 100-hour weeks. I did 100-hour weeks for the whole entire first year. First year I was doing that. But most recently, I was managing the computer systems for the treasurer's office at the county office here. And I was doing a lot of contract work before that, but it got to be the point where I had too many properties here in Las Vegas, and I needed to, go out to other states to do that work. And it was going to be hard managing my real estate properties here. Did it pay well? Yeah, of course it pays well. The contract work is, several $100,000 a year. So that pays well. I see Bengal cats up there. Hello from Russia. Bengal cats, yes, I love Bengal cats. I have 2 of them. They are 17 years old now, and they're not here. They are probably upstairs. I am actually still in the same house here that we filmed in. This is where I do my filming mostly, behind the old wall unit here. This is the house that I'm trying to sell. I was actually trying to sell it before we did the show, and then because the show came up suddenly, decided not to sell it, so I'm still kind of hanging on to it for an extra year or so, but it's become more than a year. I've had this house now an extra 2 years longer than I wanted to. It was a rental house that I was getting rid of, and it was empty. Hey Jack, what's up? Jack Westfield, my buddy from going to trips to Ukraine before. Am I buying up Dogecoin? No. I think anybody that's investing in crypto is eventually going to lose everything. It has no value. I'm one of those. I have a lot of investments in gold miners, yes, and they have really paid off, let me tell you. And that will be the future. Does Lana use an iPhone? Yeah, but she still really can't speak too well, but we use I use mostly Viber with her. We don't use WhatsApp or that. We use Viber. I like Viber. A lot of people think that Lana does speak English because she has Cameo now. I actually got her on Cameo myself, and I wrote that intro for her on Cameo. What she does is she looks at what people request, and then she writes what she wants to say, and then she translates that, and she understands. Then she memorizes what is to be said in English. It's just like if somebody wanted me to, do a Russian movie. I could certainly speak Russian lines. If I just have to memorize the Russian lines, I wouldn't know what they say, what they mean, but I can certainly memorize that. That's easy. Lana and I are not married. We are planning to go on vacation in a month. Fred, I'm planning, it looks like July, going in the beginning of July, I'm going to Kyiv. That's if, right now Lana is having trouble getting time off. There's only about 6 people in her department of normally 12, and a brand new boss has kind of put a kibosh on vacations, so she's really working on that. Mainframe systems, no, I wasn't mainframe systems, other systems, but not mainframe. That's a long time ago. That mainframe is really even before my day. Make a movie about my life, yeah. I know, I've done so much stuff. Really a lot of things. Everybody's surprised that, when they find something new. Miss Epstein, how you doing? How's Dave? Dave is like my oldest friend, guy that I met when I first went to Moscow like 22 years ago. She's married to my friend Dave. Met him 20 some odd years ago doing these trips. The beard is staying for now. It's a lot of work, but it started off as just a COVID thing. I didn't shave for like 3 weeks, and now I've basically kept it because it kind of looks better, especially with me cutting my hair shorter. Come to Scotland. Yeah, someday. My parents actually went on a trip to Scotland and Ireland to see, where they were from. I'm like 90% Irish, 10% American Indian, and there's a few other things mixed in, but mostly Irish. Do I color my hair? Of course I color my hair. Yeah, of course. Just arrived in L.A. Miss Epstein, you just arrived in L.A.? What are you guys doing? You going to Disneyland? Yeah, in fact, Dave said he was going to be out here. I'm not sure when he's going to be out here. Come to Ireland. Yes, I will be coming to Ireland at some point, probably sooner than later. As soon as it's easy to travel, that would be the plan. I still plan to travel the same way. When we get the motorhome, or when I get the motorhome, it'll be like, doing a 4 to 6 week trip in the motorhome, which is where I'm going to live in when I'm here in the United States. And then we'll go to like Italy for a month, and then come back to the motorhome and do another 4 to 6 week trip, and then go on a 3 week cruise, and whatever. It won't be like living in there full time. It will be full time, but it won't be like living there full time. What does the J stand for? I'm assuming you're talking about my middle initial J. Stands for James, which was my father's name. Yeah, I haven't been... come to Canada. You know what? Canada was going to be my first trip. Seemed to have a lot of friends up there. But I'm not sure if Canada's not even open yet, right? The border is still shut down. I can't believe the Canadian border has been shut down that long. Back on 90 days. That is... I don't know if I will be on 90 days again. I'm sure that it will probably happen, but Lana and I really don't want to film right now. We don't want to film anything that they want filmed for 90 day. So I just do the little side stuff that they offer every once in a while, keep people in the know, which, everything gets cut anyway, so I don't know why I do it. Canada's closed. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't, like right now, I feel like we're totally open. They have, I don't know what our governor's doing, because we have a Democrat governor, but like Walmart here and stuff has opened up, no mask anymore. And today I went to lunch with Nick from Your Wet Sock, and nobody at the restaurant was masked. Nobody even out in front of the restaurant was masked. But when I went to Walmart, probably 1 out of 100 were unmasked. The rest of the people were masked. Helping sponsor Lana. Don't know what that means. It's not really a sponsor thing. You can't actually sponsor somebody to come here. Wet Sock and the Lana situation. Nick's personality on his YouTube channel versus how he is in real life is two totally different things. He does that for fun and for viewers, and I understood that. He's just reporting on what he sees on the show. That's okay. He just reports on what he sees the same way what you guys see. You guys don't know what really happened or what really is going on. All you do is see what was shown on TV, which is what most of the what all the bloggers, they're just reporting on what they see also as viewers. So I'm kind of okay with that, although I'm Not okay with what they did, but, it is what it is. Colt has a stereotypical programmer body. I'm not trim now, but you know what? It was weird because I used to manage a pizza store, a very busy pizza store, and I could eat anything I wanted and stay really thin. And as soon as I left that and started taking a full-time computer job or programming job, that was where I started to gain weight. But I didn't gain this weight. I'm like 50 pounds over right now, but I didn't gain this weight from the sit-down job. I gained it from breaking my neck 13 years ago. And then every once in a while, my neck gets re-injured, and it's when it gets re-injured that, I gain weight. Nelson 83, here's your shout-out. Nick is a YouTuber, for those asking. Yes, he is. His channel is very entertaining. Even though I'm the joke of the channel, but it is an entertaining channel. Colt says hello. I've never actually talked to Colt. I will probably meet him with Nick from Your Wet Sock in the next couple months or so. I don't know. It's interesting because he and I have the same feelings about Ed Brown. It's kind of weird. We have exactly the same feelings about the guy. Belani, I'm not doing any, not going to take any requests right now. I will on the next one, as soon as I have time. I'm going to have to go real soon here because I need to go out to get some stuff done today. But I will post this video on my Instagram. Am I learning Ukrainian? No. If I was to learn anything, it would be Russian. Everybody over there speaks Russian as well as Ukrainian, and Russian is actually used all over the world. Ukrainian is used only in Ukraine. And at this point now, the people that I talk to, the girls that I talk to, they don't want me to learn Russian. They think, why? But I did because I wanted to know what her family, when we were at her family's house or whatever, I wanted to know what her friends and family were saying. But they say, no, there's no reason to, especially with the translators now, it's kind of the devices, it works kind of well, I think. Regrets about going on 90 Day. Yeah, sometimes, because you guys don't get to see who I really am. You just get to see what the show did. Is Lana taking English lessons? Yeah, Lana's been studying English it's now been 2 years since we filmed the show. So when people say, oh, look, she speaks English. Well, come on, people. It's been 2 years. She's been studying English, so she knows some. And Lana was always kind of fluent reading and writing. I had always said that because that was what her experience was. When she's in the chat, she's reading and writing. So she's kind of fluent reading and writing. And you can see that when you watch us work with the translation device. Most of the time she was writing in English and not in Russian. But she didn't understand it, and she didn't know how to say it. Have I met Rosemary Vega? No, I'm not sure how I would meet her. She's in Philippines. Am I teaching Lana to code? No, I don't plan to do any programming anymore at all. If I want to do something for myself, it takes so long still to write it. I don't know if that's really where I want to go. We're gonna do YouTube channel, which was what we were always going to do. Did Lana come to the U.S. in any time soon? No. She's still waiting for the visa. I can't believe it's been so long. It's been like 7-8 months now that we put in for the visa, and she still hasn't gotten her interview yet. Every time we check on it, it's like a few months away. They keep adding months to it to when she's going to have her interview. I don't think she's going to get this visa because it's not for a K-1 visa. It's for a tourist visa. I don't think she's going to get it, but she's 100% convinced she's going to get it. She wants to try a tourist visa like what Varya did. She wants to come here and see the country like Varya got to see the country, and see if it's for her. It was also her idea to do the motorhome stuff, and she wants to come out here and see what it's really like, because she has no idea what motorhomes are. They don't have them in Ukraine. She's never seen one. You couldn't ride around in a motorhome in Ukraine anyway. They don't have roads for that. Going to Las Vegas with my friends next year. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Vegas is a fun place, and as of right now, it is fully open. I don't think there's anything closed in Vegas anymore. Meaning I'm still with Lana. Yeah, it's amazing. But remember, Lana and I didn't have just a few month dating experience or get to know each other experience before I went to meet her. We had been talking for years, as friends. It was only in the last couple of years the last 2 years before the show that we started getting serious. Am I engaged with her? No, I wouldn't say that I'm engaged. I think I was clear about that before. We don't talk like we're engaged. Mothra is upstairs. I'm surprised she's not here because Mothra, if there's a camera, Mothra is usually there. Mothra! My lips are dry. I can't whistle. Why haven't they made a section with you and Lana? Not sure what that is. When was the last time I seen Lana? It's been a long time. COVID has stopped. Every time that Lana and I wanted to try and plan a trip to go together, Ukraine would shut down again. And I didn't want to go over there with all the different rules that they have. Yeah, I did propose. The proposal was real. That wasn't part of the show. The proposal was real. And Lana and I had talked about getting engaged before, but we were going to wait until the following trip. It was my surprise to actually do it then, because I know that's what the show wanted. And of course I knew she was going to say yes, because we'd already talked about it. Is Lana getting any money, still getting money from, Lana never got any money from me. That's a fallacy of the show, that Lana was getting paid by me or by the website. Lana didn't have any money, she was flat broke. I don't have a YouTube, I think there's a YouTube channel out there under my name, but there's nothing on it. I can't really post anything, videos yet, because I'm still under contract with the show. Borispil Airport is open in Kyiv. Yeah, it is open. And it is. There's no problem with guys coming there, but the lockdown with like public transportation and stuff like that is hard to deal with sometimes in Ukraine, especially where Lana was. Do I ever get the RV? Nope. We're going to. If you know what this is, I'm leaning towards a Cornerstone by Integra as the RV. It's not the one you saw on the show. That was a cheap one that they had. It was the only one they had available for us to walk through and film in. But what I'm looking at is a Cornerstone by Integra. Is kind of what I'm leaning toward. As the big one. I still want a little one too, because you can't take something the size of a Cornerstone up into the mountains or into the forest, that kind of place. You can't take them into state parks, they're too big. How many cats do I have? I have two cats. They're sisters. They out of the same litter. And I'm getting text messages from some friends here. Everything is open here now since April 30. Only mask in enclosed public places and public transport. No restrictions. Are you talking, Jeep guy, are you talking about Ukraine? That'd be interesting. Although Lana and I are planning to get together now in Ukraine. She just has to try and get time off from work so that I don't have to go over there. Lana has a weird job that sometimes she has to work 24 hours and sometimes 100-hour weeks. And the problem before is if we went over there just unannounced, it would be a total surprise, and suddenly she would have to work, a 100-hour week during the week that I'm there. And when I'm there, it's not really 100 hour, or it's not really getting to meet her for that whole week or getting to be with her that whole week. So we were really trying to get a vacation going on. Lana is a police investigator. And when I say police investigator would probably surprise a lot of you, but it's not the same kind of job that it is here. A police investigator here might be like a detective. Most of the police work over there, the police jobs that people want, are going to be the beat cop, the guy on the street giving out tickets, because that's how they make their money. They get their bribes. They make huge money with bribes and no money, as their salary. And a police investigator is going to be a low-level beginning job. She's not investigating murders. She's investigating like thefts of copper and other people stealing stuff. Integra is a gorgeous coach. Yeah, I think so. I love that coach. And I need a big one because I think I want a stacker trailer, if you know what that is, a stacker trailer behind it. Either a Jeep or, I like those. I like the new mid-engine Corvette, but I'm not sure what other car I would want to have right now. In fact, I'm not sure if I would even ever get a car again. I don't know that I need one. If I'm traveling all the time, what are you going to do with a car? Yeah, Vegas is great. I love Vegas sometimes until, summertime when it's so hot you don't want to go outside. Does Lana have children? No, Lana does not have children. There are rumors that Lana has children, but there are pictures out there where people think it's her kid and it's actually her nephew from her sister, her sister is 8 years older. Bold pro. Well, I said I was a pro, but pro means earning money. Bowling pro means that my income is derived from bowling. Doesn't mean that I was on the pro tour. I was never on the pro tour. And you guys didn't get to see how I really bowled. They, through editing, they showed you only what they wanted you to show, what they wanted you to see. And in 7 frames that I bowled on the show, I actually got 4 strikes for Lana. You didn't get to see. You got to see the very first one. You didn't get to see the other 3. And when I bowled on the show, it's not my ball, it's not my shoes, the lanes are very slippery, it's crazy, and the only way you can't throw a hook to get there because you can't use a house ball to really throw a hook, so you throw hard and straight, and that's what I was doing, throwing hard and straight to get the strikes. Have I lost weight? I've lost 15 pounds so far. I think about 40 to go. And I'm working part-time to actually do that. I'm going back to what I used to do. I was in pizza for a lot of years, and I actually deliver pizzas. If you're here in Vegas, you may get a pizza delivered from me. In fact, I'm going to do that job tonight for a few hours. I just do it part-time. We want the trench coat. Yeah. A lot of people do. I still have it because a lot of requests on Cameo are for that coat. And so I'm not going to get rid of it. And then I was, when COVID started, I was getting offers to do comedy. And I was going to use it as a prop in my comedy show. But it wasn't going to be like, I'm not a comedian, although when I was in high school and you have to do speeches, give up and give a speech on some subject, I always made a stand-up routine out of it. That was great. It was popular. A lot of people laughing at my speeches in high school. But I would be the guy where they just say, comedy, whatever, featuring David Murphy, because I had name recognition. I'd be the guy that goes up there and does 5 or 6 minutes of comedy and then introduces the comedian. That guy, the MC guy. Do I have any animosity towards TLC? No, I don't have any thing against TLC. It's not TLC. If you think it's think of TLC as a separate company from the studio that makes the show. They're not the same. Show since I was on, and what happened so far? Can somebody catch me up? Well, I haven't been on, so there's nothing to catch up with me except the stuff that they show now on Discovery Plus. I've done a few of the shows up there. Brad Kala, I notice you. Would I do it again? Yeah, I will. I would consider doing it again. Lana wants to do it again, but she wants to do it her way. She doesn't want to do what they want to film. That's really the only reason we aren't doing anything right now. But there's no guarantee that I would be on. They have to ask. They have to, people, I don't know what they do. They have something that they use to judge whether people are interested in somebody or not, or further in their storyline, basically. I think well, except for Lisa Ham, she did get married on her show. I was the only other person to actually be together with their person and stay together with their person. But, it's different because I was also the longest person talking to my girl. But, when you look back at it, before the 90 days is when you're meeting somebody for the very first time. How many first-time meetings do you ever have that turn into a marriage? It doesn't happen that often. and especially on TV when we're on the show, it's a 70-hour week, guys. You're not actually dating. You have no time to date. It's not cameras on the wall. You are filming 70-hour work week. And it was very difficult for Lana to deal with that. Let's see. How come I'm not engaged now? COVID. I think probably COVID because, well, there's a long story, going back. Someday you'll hear it. Or if I'm talking to you personally, you will hear it about what actually messed us up. But, it didn't end us. It just, we put everything off until we can have more time together and more real dates. Lana isn't sure. She doesn't want to have that kind of situation now, which most people doing what I do, where you go over there and you meet, and 1 week later you're engaged to that person, and then you're just waiting for paperwork to go through. She doesn't want to have that kind of relationship anymore. She wants to have a normal relationship where you're actually courted by someone for a while to find out, what you're really like. I know American married in you can get married in Ukraine. I could do that, but then it still takes a year or more to get a visa to bring a spouse that I married in Ukraine back to here in this country. Do I talk to other cast members? Yes. My favorite is Caesar. Caesar and I are really good buddies. And I talk to Tom every once in a while. And a few of the others every once in a while, but not that much, not really that much. I just been busy with doing my things here and dealing with my father. And I'll go into more of that later in another thing. It's not just my father that's gone. There's a whole other mess that went along with that. How tall am I? A lot of people think I'm like 6'2". I don't know. Out there on the internet, it says I'm like 6'2". I don't know where people got that. I'm 5'10". I certainly don't think I look tall on the show. I'm 5'10". Caesar's doing great. Caesar has really been working out and getting himself in better shape. And he constantly is, trying to help me out and get me working. Does Lana use the cell phone you bought her? Yes, she actually does now. The cell phone that I bought her is not the one you saw on the show. Like when you thought you saw her using a phone on the little video in the tell-all. That at the time that was filmed, she did not have the cell phone yet. I mean, she had the cell phone, but it wasn't working yet. It was my old phone. It wasn't a brand new phone. It was my old iPhone 7 used phone that was probably worth $200. And she, because it was my old one, I couldn't remember the password to change it over to somebody else. And we somehow messed it up to where Apple then had to wait 30 days before they would let us change it. So she actually had the phone for six or 7 weeks before we got it working. Thoughts on Big Ed? Well, I don't have any words for that. But now if any of you watch the show, you will see Colt and you will see his feelings toward Ed and exactly what I know about Ed or think about Ed. Why does a guy get up? A guy gets up in the morning and decides he's going to be a good guy or an asshole. And Ed decides to be an asshole all the time. So those are my thoughts. And Colt seemed to have figured that out himself also. When do I start traveling? Well, I wish it would be tomorrow. But you know what? The traveling without the motorhome is going to happen first because I can't buy anything right now. There is literally nothing. The waiting list to get a Cornerstone right now, a brand new one, is about a year. To get a used one, you just got to get lucky and find them. And they're $50,000 more than what they used to be before COVID. Everybody's buying them. But I'm thinking that when COVID ends, that all these people that made it popular to live in a motorhome or to travel in a motorhome decided that, or may decide that that's not for them and they'll sell them. And then it'll be a good market. Who would have words for Big Ed? Do I speak Russian? Немного. Очень немного. And Ireland, yeah, love Ireland. I'm Irish. How's the cat? The cat, I'm surprised she's not here. I can't whistle right now to try and call her down here. Hey, Mothra! Mothra! She'd be sleeping upstairs on the bed. There's a bed up there that we use for filming, and I don't use it because I don't actually sleep in this house. This is not the house I lived in at the time we did the show. Would I change anything? So much I would change. I didn't have social media before the show. I had no idea that they would do that, that they would edit, whatever they wanted and make it appear to be whatever they wanted. I really had no idea. I thought, for the most part, it was real. Do I gamble since I live in Vegas? No. I used to be a professional gambler for about 6 months when I first came out here to Vegas. That was blackjack. And I got bored silly of doing it. When you're practicing and you're doing it yourself, you're dealing yourself as fast as you can deal. When you're sitting there waiting 1 hand per minute or 2 hands or 2 minutes would go by for each hand, it's the most boring thing ever. I don't know how poker players can do that. I couldn't do it. It was super boring. And I thought I was going to get rich doing it, and no, I was barely staying even. So it wasn't for me. And then, funny thing, I became an employee working in the gaming field. If I played certain slot machines, I could play them, but if I won a jackpot, I wouldn't be able to collect. This house. Got to meet your wet sock. Yeah, Nick, your wet sock and I are good buddies, actually. It's kind of strange, right? But he knows my story, and he knows the real me, not the show me. And we may do some things together in the future. Stay tuned for that. That's fun. And he's got so much to teach me because I want to do YouTube stuff, and I think he does his YouTube the way that I would like to do it. Doing the animations and stuff that he does, it's wonderful. I love that he can do that stuff. He's become very successful at that. I'll be on the show again. That's not up to me. It's up to the producers to decide that something is interesting that they'd want to do it. It's not up to me. So, no comment there. Can I say hi to your girlfriend, Kayla? It disappeared on me, and I'm so unfamiliar with how to use this. I really should use this on like not a phone, but on a iPad or something bigger. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to scroll around on it and figure this out. Someday I should, right? Do I have time to go to Ukraine in November? This coming November? Probably I will, actually, in November. I plan to go every month after we finally get going up there. Am I traveling now? No, I'm not traveling now. What do I look for after COVID? I hope to be out of this country, really. For those of you that know, I'm definitely not a socialist. And you're in Malaysia and you watch the show. Yeah, right now, my season of the show, which was done well over a year ago, is making its first run in Venezuela and Brazil, in that area, because I'm getting a lot of messages from that area, like people asking questions about the show, like it's brand new to them. How is Alana? Alana. It's Lana, and it's short for Svetlana. I call her Lana because when we're going to do a YouTube channel, Dave and Lana rolled off the tongue real well. So I asked her, can I call you Lana? She said yes, even though she calls herself Sveta. But saying Svetlana is difficult for some people, and she would say, and Dave and Svetlana doesn't roll off. People would mess that up. So Lana is easier to say, and I like the name Lana, so I use Lana. And now she's actually known by Lana, so on her Instagram, I think we got her to change it to, she's known as Lana, because that's what people recognize. But I had really no idea how far it would go. Even they used David, and I don't really go by David. I go by Dave. And, I didn't know that when filling out the application, they were never going to ask you, what should we call you? They just used that name. So kind of weird. But you guys that want to do lives with me or do videos with me, I will do that starting the next time, I think. I'm going to do more and more of this now. I'm back. I've had to deal with Sveta and Dave. Yeah, I could probably do that, Sveta and Dave. But I wonder if people would even know how to say Sveta. I wanted to try and make it easier for people. Are there some misrepresentations of yourself? Oh, there are many misrepresentations. I think that there's some bloggers out there, especially the ones here from Vegas, like maybe the Sherelle's World and the Celeb Tot guy. Not a single thing, not even 1% of anything they've ever said about me is accurate. They are the most misrepresented people, and they don't care. They really don't care. They have no clue to what really happened or what's really going on, and they don't talk to me, so they don't have it straight. Yeah, Fred, I'll talk to you later. Sounds good. But there's not that much I can clear up because, we do have NDAs, so there's not that much I can talk about. Am I single right now? Yeah, but I don't really consider myself single. I didn't do the single life show because I don't consider myself single. Do more live videos. Yeah, I am going to do more live videos. It starts now. I posted a photo with me and Nick today, and I told him I was going to do a live and get it started again. My father, now I have to deal with the after effects of my father going away. I've got to deal with his accounts, and he's got a rental house that needs to be sold. NDA never expires. I see that question there. When does my NDA expire? The NDA never expires. That's the problem with the NDA. Don't know if that's legal, but the part about us not talking about the show never expires. Bad bloggers locally. It is what it is. Most of the haters are gone. It's really interesting that the people in foreign countries, I don't get hate from the people from foreign countries. They seem to see through the shenanigans that were pulled in the show and like me for what I did or what I appear to be. It's mostly an American thing with the hate. It's kind of weird. Thank you, people, for saying those wishes about my father. That's difficult. I miss a lot about him, a lot of things that I did, that I wanted to do, that I couldn't do. Consequences of breaking an NDA. They're pretty heavy. It's without using a lawyer, they can charge you like $50,000. It's crazy. I don't know that they've ever sued anybody. All these things, all these people that people have said, I am surprised that they haven't. We kept away from that. But, so those were the first 4 days. The next 2 days I was with her. And then for 2 days, when do you think all those interviews with Lana are done, where you see Lana being asked questions and having to answer questions or whatever? When do you think that's being filmed? She was gone for a whole day, almost 24 hours, filming that segment and basically being lied to about how long it was going to take. And those of you that have done the show, you know this interview I'm talking about, where it's just crazy. It just never ends. It takes like a whole 8 to 12 hours just to set up the scene, and then hours and hours of in front of the camera answering questions. And I didn't get to see her for that day, and then she was sleeping the next day because she was up for all day and all night. Luckily for me, I didn't have one like that because it took mine 2 days, but they gave up and they had to go to the store and get new stuff. So they had to wait until things opened up. So for the middle of the night, there wasn't anything for me to do except go to sleep. So that was pretty cool. That's the last I'll say for this, because guys, I gotta go. I gotta go like right now. So I will be on live again soon, shortly, and I'll talk to you guys more. All right? Bye-bye. Talk to you guys later. Love you all. Bye-bye.